Okay, good evening. Good evening. This is Christina. This is Cristina Campbell, and I'm just so grateful that you can join me tonight. I'm still in Minnesota at my daughter's, and she's working, but hopefully we will have a non-interrupted. Please feel free to ask questions or make comments, but um, hopefully we won't get hacked again like we did last week. So tonight it's babies and children. And we're going to talk about natural, safe, and healthy solutions for childhood health. And I'm really looking forward to putting this out on YouTube because not everybody can make it on a Tuesday night, and I get that, not a problem. So it's good that we have that option to go out and re-listen, learn, take notes if you don't get notes tonight, and it's just good information. Okay, so let's get started. So, everyday choices that we make with our children can make a real big difference. Benjamin Franklin had said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So, beginning at birth, thinking about preventative and supportive care is important. And I know now during this COVID and offering vaccinations and all the vaccinations that babies are getting at birth, mothers are really starting to take a double take and say, does my child need to have all these vaccinations? Is there a healthier alternative? And many times new mothers are at a loss as to where to start. And they get bombarded with all kinds of things from the hospital, and of course baby showers and much of the stuff out on the market. Most of the stuff out on the market is very questionable at the least. We have baby lotions and drops and creams and even pharmaceuticals, baby Tylenol, and all these things that we find can cause allergies and asthma and rashes and so much more. When we were growing up, I know Gail is about my age and Nancy is about my age as well. And I think Janet might be close to my age, but we didn't get all the vaccinations that we get today. And really, if you were born in the 50s, anytime around the 50s, that was the beginning of when these chemical companies like Johnson and Johnson's and these chemical companies with all these baby products and hair care and personal care products started coming on the market. And of course, moms were just looking for something easy, something quick, something inexpensive. And little did they know back in the day that it could have potentially been hazardous. Now we are fortunate, and I have only known about essential oils for about 22 years, but we are fortunate to be learning about essential oils and how to use them in routine care, such as getting our babies to sleep. Maybe they're colicky and you need to keep their tummies from spasming. You want something to purify the air, and we're getting away from all those plug-ins and Lysol sprays and all of that. We also want skincare and personal care products that can support all 5 areas of our health. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Why do we talk about therapeutic grade essential oils now? These are something, and we're going to talk about purity too, but these are something that we can use for our little ones to support a more natural way of life. Essential oils have actually been around for thousands of years. I've only known about them for 22. And they bring a 3-fold therapeutic benefit that is unique to medicine. They have varied aromatic molecules, and these molecules have various properties. We have different constituents in each oil that can lend to things like inflammation, anti-inflammatory, poison neutralizing for bug bites. And their function has a biochemistry function that's natural. Electromagnetic information in the essential oil, if they're alive, if they're pure, are very effective in very small doses for our children. They have a powerful energy that is drawn by the plant from solar energy. You know, it's funny because the other day Sarah and I were talking, and it was sunny out here. It's not, it hasn't been for the last couple of days. Oh, just overcast. But she made the statement. She says, you know, when the sun is shining, I just have so much more energy. And I said, because we draw our energy from the sun as well. So, you know, you're always going to feel better on a sunny day. Your attitude is sunnier. It's just really great. But our food, if it's grown properly, it too gets that energy from the sun, so that when we eat our food or use our oils, we're getting that energy as well. So why do we think essential oils are a perfect choice for our children? Because they're chemical free. There are no toxins. Our oils are pure and there's no side effects. They support the immune system, they support healthy development, and they fight bacteria and viruses naturally. Children respond favorably to aromas. You know, I remember while I was at home, Davina, who is 16 months old now, she loved to smell the oils. She loved to smell oranges. She loved to smell, you know, fruits and her food, of course. So children respond well to aromas, and it enhances our bonding time with our children if we're using essential oils and taking time with our kids to bond, like in little body massages. And we'll talk about that. Okay, so therapeutic grade essential oils are actually what I call nature's first aid kit. Essential oils are the lifeblood of the plant, and they consist of literally hundreds of different unique compounds, and they're highly concentrated, but they're very easily absorbed into our skin, into our bodies. They're therapeutic grade, which we actually don't call Young Living therapeutic grade anymore. We call it seed to seal, you know, grown in purity, no chemicals, herbicides or pesticides are used. And these are pure, safe, and supported for children for all ages. These oils can be used topically, internally, or through inhalation. And it's really nice to have a diffuser when you have children in the home. It's nice to have a diffuser when you don't have children in the home. When we use oils topically on babies, it's always safe to dilute with a V6 vegetable oil for babies, small children, or anyone with sensitive skin. You can even mix oils with a little local honey. And this is a great way for children to ingest essential oils for internal use. So if they have a little bit of a cough or a dry throat, you can take a little eucalyptus globulus, maybe 1 drop, and put it in a half a teaspoon of local honey and have them suck on that. It's almost like a natural cough drop. There are just so many things that we can do with essential oils that are safe. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about some issues that we might see in our children when they're very young. This is around 2 or 3 weeks old. A baby might have colic. Now, I have had a lot of experience with colicky babies because my second baby girl was colicky from, I don't know, it seemed like day one until she was about 3 or 4 months old. And that's when it begins to improve. And of course, Elizabeth wouldn't take a bottle. So I couldn't get her to take chamomile tea. And that's what I had offered her. If I had known what I know today, I would have used chamomile oil on her tummy. I would have used Digize and diluted it and put it on her tummy. And I think I probably wouldn't have suffered for 4 months with that baby. And you know, it's really odd too, because I was a nursing mom, but they said she was only 4 days early, but I think that she was earlier than that because she was born with that cheese-like substance on her body, and she had a lot of like that furry hair on her back, and they said that she might have had a premature digestive tract. So I just wish that I'd had the oils, and moms nowadays can choose these oils to soothe their little one when they're crying and when they're just tensing up those abdominal muscles and curling up their legs and just very, very uncomfortable. And you know when your baby is uncomfortable. So the recommendations here then are that the mother should check her dietary intake for foods that might be spicy, caffeinated, or high fat. And I didn't know any of that back in the day. I think, I always thought that I ate fairly healthy, but we didn't turn vegan until Elizabeth was 10 months old. So it could have very well been my own diet, but I was just not aware of it. So here's Roman chamomile, mixing 1 drop in warm water and applying it as a compress to the tummy. Or again, you can mix it with a little V6 and just rub his or her tummy with it. But Digize, I think, is the #1 for any tummy upsets at all. And we're going to hear about Digize a lot more. And for those of you, I know most of you have been using oils for a while. You know how effective Digize can be, not only on children, but on us adults as well. If your little one does come up with a fever and he or she is irritable or fussy and crying, they tend to get a little quiet or lethargic. They just don't have the energy. They don't want to eat, and they feel warm to the touch. A lot of times babies will get a fever when they're teething. They might get a fever during a growth spurt. And the problem is that when they're, less than 2 years old, they are not very verbal. We don't know what they're saying. All we know is that they don't feel good. So what we can do for them, the recommendations are you can use peppermint, dilute it and rub that over the navel, or you can dilute a drop of lavender and give the baby an all over body massage, maybe after a bath in some lavender oil and Epsom salts. Lavender or Thieves applied to the bottom of the feet might be helpful. And now with all the baby oils that we have, the Power Kids, moms are really learning, what oil to run to if they bump their head or they've got a tummy ache or they're not sleeping, and they run to those. I'm not as well versed in those kids oils, but if you do have little ones or you know someone who might be interested in this recording and they have little ones, have them look into those kids power oils, because they developed those specifically for children and they are already diluted and they're just really, really nice to have. I know my niece, when she was at the house, they're in their new apartment now. That was just her go-to. She would just run up and get her little kit of the kids' oils. Recommendations for toddlers and above when they have a fever: you can place 1 or 2 drops of peppermint oil directly on each foot or neat around the navel, or you can take a damp cloth, put 1 drop of peppermint on it and put it on the back of their neck. Or even on their forehead, just to calm them down if they're toddlers. Lavender or Thieves applying to the bottom of the feet hourly or as needed might help as well. So I mentioned V6. Many of us know what V6 vegetable oil complex is. It's a mixture of 6 organic vegetable oils to include coconut oil, olive oil, sesame seed, almond, sunflower seed, wheat germ, and grapeseed oil. And I love cooking with grapeseed oil. I love sesame. I love all of these. And we find that this is readily absorbed into the skin. It's colorless and odorless, so it doesn't stain the sheets. It has a long life because of the wheat germ oil. It really acts as a preservative, so the shelf life is long. And it can protect the skin from free radical damage as well. It's compatible with skin's natural oils and sebum. So this is really great on cradle cap as well. It's moisturizing, it's got a light texture, and it's ingestible. So if you want to put a little bit of oil in a teaspoon of V6 for your toddlers, you can do that as well. Use for massage or dilution of any essential oils from Young Living. So we mentioned peppermint, and peppermint helps with a lot of things. It helps with nausea, it helps with vomiting, motion sickness, constipation, colic, and headaches. Now, when we talk about motion sickness, if you're going on a long road trip with a little one, it's really nice if you can diffuse peppermint in the car while you're traveling. And you know, this is really good for dogs that get upset in the car as well. If you don't have a car diffuser, put a few drops on a tissue or on a cotton ball and stick it in the vents and get those peppermint molecules circulating throughout your car. And I think you're going to find a happier road trip. It's also supported to the respiratory system, so it helps them to breathe easier, and it can help alleviate any muscle aches and discomfort if they fall. It cools and invigorates the skin when little ones, or again, pets, are overheated. You can drop it into water for internal cooling. Just kind of start gently with babies and oils in their water. If they're not used to it, it takes a minute to get them used to the flavor. And you might even want to put a little stevia in there to make it a little bit more palatable. Diffuse it or inhale to stimulate the mind and to energize the body. So that's another reason why it's so great during fever. But peppermint is just one of those go-to oils, can be used for so many things. Peppermint is also in Diarrhea, so another good reason to use Diarrhea. I mentioned diffusing essential oils. None of these are car diffusers, but these are home diffusers. And most people start out by getting a desert mist diffuser. And this is a diffuser that you can put in your living room. It looks really nice. But for little ones, the Feather the Owl or Snowy Owl diffusers are just awesome. I really like my little Snowy Owl or Feathered Owl, and they play a kind of a, what is it called, white noise, or they'll play birds, or you'll hear waterfall, and then you can have a night light on, different colors, or you can keep the night light off altogether. The Aria ultrasonic diffuser, I think right now they have the white one is still available. And these are beautiful diffusers for the home. They're almost like a beautiful piece of furniture. They're made with hand-carved maple wood, and they play a Zen music, or you can take the music off. It also has LED lighting that you can have on if you choose or not. But it's essential that you have a diffuser in the home. And many of us started getting a diffuser for every room. You know, I have to have one in my bedroom every night, and I like to have one in the living room, and a must have in my office. So think about having a number of different diffusers, and Young Living's diffusers are really a great quality diffuser. Okay, what about diaper rash? Diaper rash can happen while babies are teething. Most of the diapers nowadays, again, so different from when we grew up and had cloth diapers, and I had cloth diapers for my babes, but they have a lot of wicking capabilities. So diaper rash doesn't happen that much unless they're teething, or they have a fever, or they've eaten something that's strong, that's making their urine strong, and that might cause a redness in that diaper area. It might cause the skin to be tight and papery, or even inflamed. And oh my gosh, they're so uncomfortable when this happens. Make sure that they're getting plenty of water. That's one of the things that I really appreciated about my niece, is that from the time that Davina was old enough to drink out of a little sippy kind of cup, hers had a straw, she drank water all day long. That baby drank water. And, you know, juice is a nice treat, but it isn't something that you should be feeding your child all throughout the day. They don't need all of that sugar. Water, pure water. And I was told many, many years ago, I was asked the question, would you wash your dishes in orange juice? And of course, the answer to that is no, I wouldn't wash my dishes in orange juice. Then why would you cleanse your body with juice? Juice is good, like I said, for a treat, but water is heaven's beverage, and we should be drinking more of it. So increase that water intake. And there are a couple of different diaper products that Young Living has. One of them was Tender Trish. I don't know if Tender Trish is still available, but we also have the Seedlings diaper rash cream, which I've heard nothing but good things about. You can also make your own diaper wipes with Gentle Baby, and you just dilute it 1 to 30 with V6. You can put it on with just a drop of Gentle Baby and about a teaspoon of the V6 oil and rub it on their bottom, or you can make these baby wipes. And I used to teach when I'd have like DIY classes many years ago. This was a great recipe, and it's really great for not only diaper rash, but you can use it for cleaning up. You can have one of these containers in the car for when they have a snack and you need to clean them up quickly. All you do is you take a roll of natural paper towel, take a serrated knife and cut that roll of paper towels right in half. Put it in a Rubbermaid container. It fits perfectly in I think it's a 2-quart Rubbermaid container. And you're going to put half of that roll in the container. And then you're going to mix 2 cups of pure water with 2 tablespoons of the V6, 2 tablespoons of the Kidsense shampoo, and then you can add 5 drops of lavender, Gentle Baby, frankincense, sandalwood, or rose, or any oil essential oil that you want. All you need is 5 drops. Pour that liquid into the container with the paper towels and let it set overnight. When you open that container the next day, you can literally take the cardboard piece out of the center and then start taking the towelettes from the center of the roll, 1 towelette at a time. And there you have it. You have a really, really great cleanup cloth that's natural, especially if you get the natural paper towels, and you don't have to worry about trying to find a washcloth and do all that laundry. Get a biodegradable natural paper towel. If you want to make a diaper powder recipe, you can mix 5 drops of any of your favorite essential oils. I recommend lavender or Gentle Baby with 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now sift this together and then put it in a little container and keep that for when you want to powder their little bottoms to keep them nice and dry. Earaches and infections. I've had a lot of experience with this as well, and I actually got this recipe from Deborah Rayburn's book years ago from Gentle Babies. And earaches and infections can be caused by, again, teething or a viral or bacterial infection in the ear, getting too cold, like not having a hat on maybe and just irritating the ear. You're going to have, the baby's going to maybe pull on the ear or rub the ear, and they'll have difficulty sleeping. They might get a fever with it. They might lose some equilibrium or some balance. There may be fluid draining from the ear, and it may seem like they have difficulty hearing because their ear is congested. One of the things that works really, really well is Ledum. Now, not everybody has Ledum, but if you have a little one, it's really nice to have a bottle of Ledum so that you can dilute it 1 drop of Ledum to 10 drops of V6, and then apply this to the outer ear, just a couple of drops to the outer ear, down the neck, and behind the ear several times during the day. And a must is also to put Thieves on the bottom of their feet, 1 or 2 drops on the bottom of the feet a couple of times throughout the day as well, especially before they go to bed at night. And you want that Ledum on there as well. Again, when the children are nonverbal, it might be difficult to detect what they're fussing about because, we don't know what they're saying. But look at these symptoms and see if that isn't maybe what's happening. You can also put a little bit of cotton with just a small amount of Melrose or Purification, and put that little bit of cotton in their ear when they go to bed at night too. That will help. In fact, my daughter had a little bit of an earache the other day, and she said, Mom, now she's been with me for how many years? Mom, what should I use to, because I have an earache? And I said, do you have Melrose? And she said, no. And I said, do you have Purification? She said, yes. Put that in her ear. She put that in her ear, and that night, and the next day she didn't have any trouble at all. Okay. Teething is another thing that all children are going to go through. They're all going to experience this, and different babies go through different things. Some babies don't have any problem at all while they're teething. Others refuse to eat, they're unable to sleep, they have a fever, they might get a facial rash because of their drooling, they might get a runny nose, they're going to be just overall irritable and fussy. They're going to chew on everything, and they do that anyway, right? And they might even get some loose stools, and it might tend to diaper rash. So just keep an eye open. They might have some gum swelling and inflammation. And the recommendations, my number one recommendation is take Thieves, dilute it 1 to 5 drops with V6. Put it in a little 5 milliliter or 15 milliliter empty bottle of Thieves, and tip that and just rub their gums with that. That really takes the pain away. It has that clove in there, so it has a numbing effect. And if you dilute it appropriately, it won't be hot, and it won't be um, you know, uncomfortable for them. Another thing you can do is you can put peace and calming along the jawbone or on the bottom of the feet. This might calm them a little. And for older children, if they're getting molars, you might want to take Deep Relief or Panaway and roll that over their jawbone. That will help with the pain as well. Now, if your toddler or little one is getting a facial rash because they're drooling a lot, use the Kidsense lotion, or you can take lavender, just dilute it again, because you don't want to irritate the rash. Just dilute it with a little V6 and rub it on their face.
Cristina?
Yes.
I have used peace and calming on 2 kids at my center, and one of them, and I had permission with the parents, one with a coworker, her son wouldn't stop crying, and she said that he's been teething really bad. I said, well, if you want, I got something that might help. And I'm willing to try anything. So I went and did the peace and calming along his jaw bone on both sides. And the next day she goes, I don't know what you put on him, but it took care of that facial rash. And within 5 minutes of me putting it on, he stopped crying.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was 2 years old.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, April. I appreciate that. So here's peace and calming. And Gary Young actually developed this blend for overactive children. It promotes relaxation, it relieves fear and anxiety, it calms overexcitement and restlessness, it combats anger and negative emotions, and it brings about a deep sense of security and confidence. It offers peaceful and restful sleep. It is a blend of essential oils, and Gary, in his wisdom, knew to put together blue tansy, patchouli, tangerine, orange, and ylang ylang. I have to tell you guys this. So, most of you know me that I do genealogy, and I just, out of curiosity, one of my software packages is Family Search. And I put Gary's name in Family Search because he's passed away. You can look at a lot of, birth dates and, parents and grandparents and so on and so forth. and found out that Gary Young was my 8th cousin. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish he was still alive so I could tell him that we're related. I was so excited. So I just had to share that with you guys. All right, well, this is something we talked about last week for adults, but we're going to talk about this with children tonight. Diarrhea, and the symptoms, of course, are frequent loose watery stools. They're going to get abdominal cramping, and that is really uncomfortable for little ones. They might get some bloating, their gut might be a little distended, but the recommendations that we make, number one, is the brat diet. Give them bananas, rice, cereal, applesauce. You can give them toast. This helps. But more importantly is get out that Digize and rub 1 or 2 drops neat on the tummy. This is going to help with the converse too. We're going to talk about constipation. It's amazing how adaptive Digize is. It's good for loose stools and it's good for hard stools. So if you're an adult and you have either of those things going on, make sure you're using your Digize. Or in the case of little ones, we have Tummy Jize and the Power Kids oils. Other oils that you could use are lavender, Roman chamomile, or basil. And basil is good because it's antispasmodic. So it helps to relieve stress and spasms. Make sure you dilute these. You could put 1 drop of each and then dilute it in about a teaspoon of V6. You could use peppermint if you don't have the other oils and have them sip on that peppermint oil water. You can use Ledum, 1 or 2 drops orally or on the tummy. And you can give them Mighty Pro, which is the kids' probiotic. And if you don't have Mighty Pro, I recommend that you get it if you have kids in the home, or use Life 5, Life 9, a third to a half a capsule in applesauce before bedtime. This is going to help repopulate that probiotic bacteria and help with whatever is causing that diarrhea in the first place. In children, particularly young children, diarrhea can lead quickly to dehydration. So call your doctor if your child's diarrhea doesn't improve within 24 hours. Just, be cautious. So here's that converse, here's constipation. And of course, most of the time, constipation is caused by inadequate water and fiber intake. And that's why I just thought it was so great that Isla Ann had taught Davina to drink water all throughout the day. And Isla Ann was constantly saying, Davina, would you like some water? And she'd carry that little cup around and she'd sip on it whenever she felt like it. And she was hydrated. She was totally hydrated. So constipation, if they're straining, if you know that they're not having a bowel movement 20 or 30 minutes after they eat, if they don't have a bowel movement for 24 hours, don't let it go any longer than that. Use peppermint, use Digize, rub it over the tummy. You can dilute the peppermint if you choose to, but either one of those oils are going to be very, very supportive to little ones that are constipated. So allergies are becoming more and more prevalent because of the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food that we eat. It is an overreaction of the immune system to protein substances. These are protein antigens like pollen or dander or even some foods. Either they've been inhaled, they've been ingested, they've been injected, or they've been touched. And the symptoms of allergies are sneezing, coughing, red, watery, itchy eyes, runny or stuffy nose, changes in behavior. Recommendations are to use lavender oil in a little bit of local honey. Young Living doesn't have blue agave anymore, so use a little local honey. That's fine. 1 drop of lavender. You can use 3 drops of Harmony on the sternum, and that's the chest bone. That's been proven to be very, very effective for allergies as well. Make sure that their colon is running smoothly, that they're not constipated, that they're not getting a lot of toxic foods, a lot of food dyes, colorings, and chemicals like yeast extract or MSG or monosodium glutamate, any of the sugars that are not natural. Some kids are very susceptible to maltose or dextrin, or even maltodextrin. Those sugars that they're starting to put more and more in foods, aspartame, that can actually cause gut problems. Also, genetically modified foods, because our kids are not ingesting these well. Um, this could be part of the reason that we're coming up with these protein allergies. So yeah, so I mentioned all that stuff down there. All of these things like MSG and aspartame can affect the brain, producing symptoms of ADD, ADHD, autism, depression, as well as physical ailments. And we know that yellow number 5 and red number 40 have both been directly related to ADD and ADHD in children. So you want to make sure that they're not getting all of these dyes, these chemical dyes in their foods. So we mentioned lavender, and lavender is really our gentle #1 first aid treatment. This is part of your family first aid kit. It promotes healing for cuts and scrapes, for diaper rash and blisters. It's a safe, effective insect repellent, but I do like Purification for that, or I love Young Living's insect, well, they don't call it insect, they call it, it is a, gosh, what is it called? It's a repellent. And I really, really love it. I use it myself in the garden because it really does keep the bugs away. And why use something if it doesn't work? And Young Living's works. Lavender is also very calming. It's excellent for any kind of burns, especially sunburns in these little babies that are going out when the weather's getting a little bit nicer now. And if they're not used to being outside, getting their vitamin D every day, which I highly recommend, and they're starting to get a little red, just get some Lavaderm. Young Living has something called Lavaderm, and that's an aloe vera and lavender and sterile water, and you just spray that on, and it just soothes that little sunburn. But lavender is really great for that. It also helps to alleviate allergy symptoms, like I mentioned, and it promotes healing of cradle cap. It soothes diaper rash, and I know that it's been used not only for children, but for puppies with blocked tear ducts. You put 1 drop over the bridge of the nose, and it will help to unblock blocked tear ducts. It's amazing. Lemon is also another oil that we haven't mentioned yet tonight, but this is a great oil to diffuse around your kids. It's kind of like diffusing sunshine. It supports the immune system. It's liver cleansing. It helps to promote well-being. If your kids have allergies and you do want to do a liver cleanse on a kid, all you have to do is put some lemon over their liver. On a daily basis, just put 1 or 2 drops over their liver, maybe dilute it. It also helps alleviate coughing. You can use this in a homemade cough syrup with eucalyptus globulus and 1 drop of lemon and a little bit of honey. It'll alleviate coughing and phlegm, get rid of that mucus. You can diffuse this, you can directly inhale it, you can apply it topically, and you can take it as a dietary supplement. We have made lemonade with lemon oil, and kids love it. Sweeten it with a little local honey or some stevia, and have it over ice, and it's a great, delicious lemonade. Add a few freshly squeezed organic lemons in there as well. But these are beverages that we should be feeding our children, and not a lot of Kool-Aids like we were raised on, all that dye and all that sugar. It just affects the immune system. Okay, colds and flu. Well, we can talk about the flu. It's been around for about a year now. It's contagious. It can be a viral upper respiratory tract infection. And there are many, many types of flu viruses out there. As a matter of fact, there are 200 strains that are introduced to the United States annually. So we're lumping them all together under the name of COVID now, but how many people do you think have gotten the flu that maybe hasn't been COVID related? If you get flu symptoms, it's going to be sneezing and fever, a headache, a sore throat, cough, chills, body aches. You might get extreme fatigue and a runny or stuffy nose, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's COVID. Recommendations, if this does happen, make sure you're diffusing RC. This helps with congestion and coughs. You can get the Thieves chest rub, which I really, really like. It works very much like what we used back in the day, the Vicks Vapor Rub, except it doesn't have any petrochemicals in it. So it's much better for the longevity of the cell. You can use the peppermint for fever or headaches, like we mentioned earlier. You can do a lavender body massage for body aches, and make sure that they're getting their nutrition. One of the things Davina loved was her Ningxia Red, her daily 2-ounce packet of Ningxia Red, and she would suck every drop of it out of there. Kids should get good nutrition, and Ningxia Red is a way to get that into their system. Children attending daycare up through adolescence average 12 colds a year. This is ridiculous. We need to boost their immune system. We need to be diffusing oils every day when they come home from school and before they go to school. Put Thieves on the bottom of their feet before they go to school. Jillian's on here tonight, and she did that faithfully with her children from the time she found out about the oils. And now she's got a son graduating from high school, and I mean, her kids have just sprouted up like nobody's business, and she used Thieves their whole childlike life. She has a great testimony about that. So here it is. This is Thieves. This is our Thieves Blend, and it does help support proper immune function. It's also an excellent choice for deodorizing the air in the home because it's going to kill airborne bacteria and viruses. It provides a boost to antioxidant support. It's non-toxic, of course, eco-friendly, biodegradable. And again, please use this daily on the bottom of the feet to protect from viruses and bacteria. And as adults, we should be doing this every day with what's, running rampant in our country right now. These products have been university tested. They're safe and effective as alternatives for everyday items around the home. Young Living's amazing Thieves Essential Oil Blend was inspired by the legend of the 4 15th century thieves in France, who formulated an aromatic blend composed of cloves, rosemary, and other botanicals to use while they were robbing graves. When they were captured, they were offered a lesser sentence in exchange for their secret recipe, and that's why we call it Thieves. It contains the essential oils of clove, lemon, cinnamon bark, Eucalyptus radiata, and rosemary. Here's some more Thieves products. And of course, I don't go anywhere without my Thieves Lozenges. I've got my bag right here, in my bag here at my daughter's. And, I suck on them when I'm out and about. I put them in my pocketbook. When I'm driving long distances, I like to suck on a Thieves. I just know that it's supporting my body. We also have Thieves laundry soap, Thieves hand sanitizer, which I carry in my pocketbook. We have Thieves spray, which I love. We have the Thieves toothpaste, dish soap, the foaming hand soap. Little ones should learn early to use the Young Living's foaming hand soaps and stay away from those chemically laden ones. We also have Thieves Dental Floss and bar soap as well, if you didn't know that. So there's our more Thieves products. So when your kids start getting a little older and they start getting into um, uh, you know, football, and these kids are into soccer, athletics, they can fall and run into things, and they may be growing rapidly, so they might get pains in their legs and their knees, um, their kneecaps. I know when Elizabeth was growing up at about age 10, she was diagnosed with, my youngest daughter, she was diagnosed with Osgood-Schlatter's disease, which is just something they've termed for a fast growth spurt. Her bones were growing really fast and she had a lot of pain. So all we did was we brought her to the chiropractor so that she could get weekly adjustments to help with that growth. But had I known, I would have had Panaway or Aromaseeds or Deep Relief. Any of those are great for these growing pains or sore muscles. I know my grandboys, when they were coming up, now Sam is 6'4", but before that, and they'd be playing out in the backyard and they'd be hitting each other with sticks or whatever, come in crying, I would get out the Panaway and rub it wherever they were hurting. So intensity of pain varies from child to child, but you have an answer right there in your oil arsenal with Panaway, Deep Relief, Aromaseeds. They can take a bath with Aromaseeds and Epsom salts. That's really good for any kind of aches and pains. And it's good for us big people too. And here it is, Panaway. And Panaway contains, it too is a blend, and it contains essential oils of wintergreen, which is an anti-inflammatory. It's really good for sore knees. If you only have wintergreen, do wintergreen and layer it with copaiba. It's great for taking away knee pain. It also has helichrysum in it, which is really good for any nerve issues. It has clove in it, which is an analgesic, and peppermint, which is an anti-inflammatory. So Panaway supports healthy bones, joints, and cartilage. It supports quick healing because it allows blood flow to come to the area where you're applying it. It soothes and eases stressed nerves, tight, sore muscles, and sore joints and ligaments. If you slept on your neck wrong, put a little Panaway or some Deep Relief on it. You'll feel a big difference. Or even the CBD muscle rub. Oh my gosh, I swear by that. I love it. Use topically to kill pain where there's no open raw tissue, because if it's raw and you put Panaway in it, it's going to sting with that clove in there for a minute. It's great for sports or playtime injuries. You can apply it on location where the pain is, or you can put it on the bottom of the feet. If they have a headache, and kids are getting headaches now more than they ever did when I was coming up, just put a little bit on their temples, rub it on the back of their neck, have them inhale it. That'll give a soothing effect as well. Or you can use a compress of Panaway with some V6 on their back and just put a warm compress on. That's really going to feel good. For cuts, scrapes, bugs, and stings, lavender oil neat right on the site. Now, neat means that you don't dilute. Anytime you see oil being used neat, we're not diluting it. Just dab a little bit on those little red spots. For bug bites, I like Purification more than lavender. So you can dab Purification on location. You can make your own bug repellent. Just take 2 or 3 drops of Purification oil, put it in an 8-ounce spray bottle, and spray it on the kids. And you don't have to worry about poisonous, insect repellents that have all the chemicals in them. Just make your own, or get the lotion that we have, the insect repellent lotion that Young Living has. I love it. It really is moisturizing to the skin. For stings, put Purification oil neat on the site as often as needed to relieve pain and swelling. And this is going to be throughout the day. You're going to put another drop of purification, another drop until it neutralizes the poison of that sting. And it does a very good job at that. And here's purification. Purification is a blend, and it used to be in our premium starter kits. It is not in your premium starter kit anymore. So it's nice to have a 15 ml bottle sitting around the house. Purification is just good for so many things. It has citronella in it, which has always been a bug repellent. It's got lemongrass, lavandin, rosemary, melaleuca, which is tea tree, which has always been good for insect repellents, and myrtle. It helps healthy lungs and bronchioles. You can use it to sterilize cuts and scrapes, as you could use lavender as well to sterilize a cut or scrape. It deters bugs and insects and relieves itching from insect bites. It neutralizes mildew, cigarette smoke, and other undesirable odors. It neutralizes poison from stinging and biting insects. It's great to use in the laundry to purify cloth diapers and children's items. It's also great on pet bedding. Just make a spritzer bottle, put about 15, 20 drops of purification in an 8-ounce bottle and spritz your pet's bedding, the kid's crib. Use this in place of where you might have at one point in time used Lysol or anything like that. You can also use this for swimmer's ear, but don't you put it directly in the ear, just put it on a cotton ball, like I mentioned earlier for earaches. Frankincense, of course, is one of the oldest essential oils, and it was used primarily in meditation to improve inner balance and spiritual awareness. It really has a great way of calming and soothing the mind and body. And if you have kiddos around the house, diffusing frankincense and tangerine, or frankincense and orange, or any of the citrus oils, lemon, citrus fresh, is going to uplift their spirits. If they're down in the dumps or moping around, diffuse something that's going to lift up their spirits. Because frankincense is really good for comforting properties that have to do with balancing us emotionally and mentally. It supports all over body health. It supports the respiratory system. It supports the skin. It soothes head bumps. You can use it topically on the umbilical cord. We believe that myrrh and frankincense were brought to the Christ child at the time of his birth for things just as that, and also to anoint him as the King of Kings. So we should be anointing our babies upon birth. And I've had the opportunity to anoint most of my grands and great-grands at birth with frankincense. You can diffuse or inhale for calming effects, and you can anoint the babies after delivery. I did not dilute, and I put them on brand new babies just born. I mean, we're talking minutes old, and I dropped frankincense directly onto their crown and prayed over them. Valor is another great blend that you can use. It because it's known as a chiropractor in a bottle, and it's very effective for improving structural misalignment. It supports the physical and spiritual aspects of the body to increase feelings of strength, courage, and self-esteem in the face of adversity. If your little one has a project that they have to get up in front of the class for, or they have to talk in front of a group of people, make sure that they have Valor on the bottom of their feet, or even a cotton ball in their pocket that they can sniff, or maybe on their wrists that they can just put up their wrist and smell it to get that courage and self-esteem and strength that they might need in that time. You can use this for itching and for allergies. It soothes backaches, headaches, and sore muscles. It restores confidence, reduces anxiety. And it seems like in this day and age, our kiddos are suffering with anxiety all the time. It's really sad. It also can alleviate fear. It eases labor and delivery. You can apply it topically, like I said, on the spine or on the wrists, on the chest, on the back of the neck, or on the bottom of the feet. It contains the essential oils of spruce, frankincense, and blue tansy in a carrier oil of fractionated and virgin coconut oil. So let's talk a minute about natural versus synthetic body care and why I am the teacher that I am about getting away from synthetic chemicals. Many essential oils, not Young Living, but other oils on the market. And oh, by the way, I saw the Walmart essential oils the other day. I had never looked for them, and I don't go to Walmart that often, but my daughter and I were shopping, and I saw those oils, and I thought, oh my gosh, these synthetic oils, chemicals are in there, and people buy them thinking that they're pure because they can say 100% essential oil and only be 5% essential oil. The rest can be all these synthetic chemicals. It seems that just about everything is being replaced by imitation. Even some of these Johnson & Johnson baby products that they are now saying are natural still have chemicals in them. I don't trust any of that. These imitations are proving harmful and even toxic to the human body. So let's take a look at what might be in your child or children's personal care products. There may be hidden chemicals found in baby, children, and teen products. Many years ago, I found out that mineral oil was an immunotoxic. In other words, it's toxic to the human body's immune system and causes allergies. It also causes liver issues. It affects the lungs and can cause chemical pneumonia. It clogs the pores, and we were told when my kids were coming up that we should use mineral oil for cradle cap, eczema, and skin rashes. Now we know that mineral oil exacerbates it. In other words, it makes it worse. It literally absorbs all of that child's fat-soluble vitamins in the intestinal tract, which cause the body to be robbed of nutrition. It reduces blood flow in the human body and incites inflammatory responses, setting the stage for disease. Please don't use anything with mineral oil in it. It's been shown to cause liver damage. Other hidden chemicals are sodium lauryl sulfate, or SLS, or anything that sounds like that. This particular chemical has the ability to alter the skin's structure, and this allows chemicals to penetrate deep into the skin. It is directly related to loss of hearing and loss of eyesight. It mimics the hormone oestrogen, identified in reproductive infertility. It can cause eye deformities in children. We have the Kidsense Oil Collection. In this collection, we have Genius, which helps a child to stay on task. We have Owie, which soothes sensitive skin and bumps and bruises. That's one of Eileanne's go-tos all the time because Davina's tripping or falling or misjudging her step or whatever, and she'll get a bump on the head, and the bruising goes away very quickly because she uses Owie. There's also Bite Buster, and this is used for supporting little ones if they've been bitten or to keep them from being bitten. They have Tummy Jies, which works very much like Diarrhea or Peppermint. Sniffles, if they're coming down with a little cold, this is something that's great to diffuse. And Sleepy Eyes, if they're just wound up or overtired. All of these oils calm the body, uplift the senses, relax the mind, and help meet the needs of children. They're all safe and already diluted. This allows caregivers to effectively navigate children through childhood to become healthy and happy adults. This is the Kidsense Oil Collection. We also have the Kidsense Collection Bath Gel and Shampoo. The bath gel is a liquid soap that's safe and gentle. It cleanses and protects sensitive skin. It's pH balanced for children's skin, and it's formulated with MSM, which is in sulfurzyme, aloe vera, and antioxidants. So it's so supportive of our children's skin and bodies. And our shampoo is effective and gently cleanses, causes no irritation, has a natural scent, doesn't have any of those chemicals or dyes in them, and it's pure and organic. The Kidsense bath gel contains the essential oils of cedarwood and geranium, and the shampoo contains the essential oils of tangerine, lemon, and blue tansy. Beautiful, beautiful personal care products for our babies. We also have Kidsense lotion and tender tush. And the lotion has cedarwood, rosewood, western red cedar, and geranium in it. It's very moisturizing. I like the the Kidsense lotion. It promotes healthy skin. It has MSM, shea butter, and aloe vera. And then the tender tush that I was talking about earlier, if they're graduating from the Seedlings diaper rash stuff to the tender tush, this is really nice. It's protective for delicate skin. It's a little more oily than a cream. It's like a gel type, but it does moisturize and nourish dry, chapped, inflamed skin. And it has sandalwood, rosewood, Roman chamomile, lavender, cistus, blue tansy, lemon, and frankincense. What a wonderful moisturizer. I love tender tush. I've used it on dry skin for myself in the past. We also have the Kidsense Toothpaste, which is safe and natural, gently cleans the teeth. It's got a fruity little bubblegum flavor, and of course it's free of synthetic dyes or flavors. It has the essential oils of grapefruit, tangerine, lemon, spearmint, ocotea, clove, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus radiata, and rosemary. So it tastes really good. You wouldn't want to put any chemical toothpastes in their little bodies at such a young age. So let's talk about nutrition, natural versus synthetic vitamins. Many over-the-counter chewable vitamins have food coloring additives. All of those Flintstones, the gummy bears, all of that. And these are directly related to ADD and ADHD and other behavioral challenges in children. These artificial dyes and chemicals can cause anxiety, allergies, so many health problems. And we think we're doing the right thing by giving them vitamins from the grocery store. No, we're not. We need to give natural nutrition. This is a chewable multivitamin. It's formulated with whole food extracts, very easily absorbed into the human body. It contains nutrient-dense superfoods. It's got the Ningxia wolfberry in there. It has plants and vegetables. And it's got a full spectrum of vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, and phytonutrients. Get them started early. It has a wild berry and orange cream flavor. There's actually 2 flavors in each bottle. So you're going to see a purple one and kind of an orangey one. It combats the negative effects of enzyme depletion and assists in normal digestion. I take Kidsense vitamins at home myself. Another nutritious snack bar that you can cut up into little bite-sized pieces is the Wolfberry Crisp Bar or the Protein Bites. Both of these are great little snacks for kids if you're on, road tripping, or they're really getting hungry and they can't wait for dinner or whatever. Give them a whole food. Give them a low glycemic food that's loaded with nutrients. This particular Wolfberry Crisp Bar is good for adults as well. It has 16 grams of protein. It's rich in antioxidants and phytonutrients. It's all natural and certified kosher, and it's an ideal on-the-go snack. But again, I would cut them up into bite-sized pieces. They don't need to have a whole bar. That's a lot of snack. Then they're going to be so full that they don't have room for their regular meal, right? And again, I was mentioning that Davina loves her Ningxia Red. This is great for energizing and fortifying and replenishing the body. When kids are out doing their athletics, playing soccer or football or t-ball or whatever it is that they're going to be involved in as the weather gets nicer, have some Ningxia Red packets that they can take a little packet in between times just to replenish themselves. It's full of high health promoting antioxidants. It tastes good. They love it. It includes the nutrient dense fruits of blueberries, raspberries, and pomegranates. You can take the 2-ounce single packets and make frozen treats out of them too. So these packets are great for on the go. Throw them in their athletic bag and bring it with them. Have them bring it with them when they're going to their sports activities. Ningxia wolfberries, or the dried wolfberries, are a great snack as well. You can add these to texture smoothies, or add it to oatmeal if they eat hot cereal in the morning, or yogurt. They have great health boosting benefits. And this 1-pound bag is convenient because it recloses and you can take this on the go. It's got its own little Ziploc baggie. They only need like 1/4 of a cup, and that really satisfies them if they get a little munchy. I don't want to get into vaccines too awfully much on this particular class. I do, however, want to guide you to the National Vaccine Information Center, which is www.nvic.org, where you can find out the myth and the truth about vaccines. The myth is that vaccines boost immunity. The truth is that vaccines damage the immune system. Due to their synthetic, chemical, and genetic ingredients, they cause toxic overload. They weaken the immune system and actually compromise its ability to fend off disease and heal the body. We see a lot of issues in mental and emotional issues with children and vaccines. Our solution is to boost the immune system naturally. If you're going to be a responsible parent and you choose not to have your children vaccinated, then you need to give them the best and the highest nutrition available. You need to avoid chemical-laden personal care and cleaning products. You need to embrace therapeutic grade oils and support their little bodies with pure, natural supplements like we've been talking about tonight. Therapeutic massage. This is really great, using the oils, creating a bond with your infant or child. It helps to calm and relax them. It supports the child's emotional well-being, and it creates a sense of trust and security. Giving our children little body massages also helps to build self-esteem. They just love the way it feels when mommy or daddy just gives them a back rub or gives them a foot rub, or just loves on them. I'm a big believer in chiropractic care. As you heard me say about my youngest daughter, she was going to the chiropractor when she was very, very young. The International Chiropractic Pediatric Association, the ICPA, found that spinal manipulative therapy is safe and successful in treating children of all ages. It's very gentle, it's non-invasive, and it's drug-free. And my particular chiropractor in my area, she's in Swansea, her name is Dr. Leah Dukowitz. She's really good with children. She has 3 of her own children, and her and her husband were chiropractors. And so she had I would say the largest proponent of her clientele are probably kids. Used in conjunction with oils, and she uses oils as well. Chiropractic care may resolve numerous health issues like allergies and chronic headaches and that kind of thing. It might improve sleep. It can even modify behavior and attitude and boost the immune system function. So if you do have little ones, or you're going to guide someone to watch this on YouTube tomorrow or after that, because it's going to go out there tomorrow, you might want to help them to get started with Young Living, a 90-day program. This is 90 days to healthier, happier children. And this is what I recommend. First of all, my disclaimer, if you're in need of medical attention, but get them started with a premium starter kit. We have a number of new premium starter kits, but I think this is the Cadillac. If you're going to start with this, get a desert mist diffuser. You're going to get lavender, peppermint, lemon, valor, peace and calming, frankincense, thieves. You're going to get citrus fresh, raven, digest, pan away, stress away, 2 roller balls, a Thieves waterless hand purifier, and a Thieves spray, and 2 packs of the Ningxia Red. This kit is $165, free shipping. They do have to pay tax, but then they're a lifetime wholesale member with no annual fees. All they're required to do to keep their membership active is to order $50 in product at least once a year, and this will keep them active. It has to be a one-time $50. It can't be like $35 today and $15 6 months from now. So this is the best way to get them started. And then help them to enroll in their Essential Rewards program. Get them to embrace the lifestyle of Young Living with their children. They're going to get free products back. They're going to get reduced shipping. They're going to get free shipping if their Essential Rewards is 100 PV or more. PV is product volume. They won't run out of products if they're on Essential Rewards. It's just that one-stop shop kind of thing. Every month they can put in their order and it'll be shipped directly to them. So Essential Rewards is the way to go. And one of their recommendations after they get their premium starter kit is they might want to get the Kidsense Oil Collection. And we talked about that. This one is Genius, Owie, Bite Buster, Tummy Jive, Sniffle Ease, and Sleepy Eyes. And month 2, they might want to try the Kidsense collection with the bath gel and the shampoo, the lotion, the Mighty Bites, nutrition, the vitamins, the tender tush, or the toothpaste, or even a little tube of lip balm. Kids love lip balm. They don't like chapped lips. Who does? So this might be something that you might want to encourage them to get in their next month. And then teaching them about the other Thieves products and the Thieves collection that they can get on Essential Rewards. This whole collection is the Thieves Essential Rewards collection, and it comes with the household cleaner, the foaming hand soap, the sprays, the waterless hand purifier. They get another 15 ml, the big bottle of Thieves, and the mouthwash and toothpaste. This is a great way to introduce them to the Thieves collection. A suggestion for another Essential Rewards might be another bottle of Mighty Bites. There's 90 in there, so it's going to last them a couple of months, and get them started on the Ningxia Red. And if they're kids, make sure you get the packets because it's just an easy on-the-go type of thing. Here's some resources. Deborah Rayburn has a new Gentle Babies out now, which is really good. You can get that from discoverlsp.com. Make sure that you encourage your new friends, your new members, to get the Essential Oils Desk Reference. It's still available at discoverlsp.com. And there are some other brochures and things about kids that you can get on Discover LSP, as well as 31 oils. And there's quite a few other resources out there, I would recommend that you check on Facebook on Grow Dot. That's Grow with a period after it. And they have a lot of recommendations for kids things as well. Another really good book is What Your Doctor May Not Tell You About Children's Vaccinations. And if you want to learn more about how I feel about vaccinations. Well, I want to thank you for coming on tonight. And I'm really, really grateful that we didn't have the problems that we had last week. So this will be out on YouTube tomorrow. We are supporting healthy, active, and happy children. And I'm going to stop the recording.